Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this next episode of the Growth Minded Contractor podcast. I'm Ryan Groth, your host, CEO of STG, and I have another special guest who's brought me some gifts. I have some more gifts over here, a gratitude journal, and a little little miniature Jesus. Dominick Fraser, what's going on?
It's all good. Welcome to Atlanta.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Thanks for coming down. I know you have a new spot that's a little bit of a drive. A couple of years ago, you built your precious forever kingdom spot.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So thanks for making the trip. And I know our friend Randy Hurtado recommended we do this. And so you guys have become friends in the last several years?
Yeah, he just flew out recently. And
did he?
Yeah, and it's been a couple of days with us at our office, and we kind of exchanged some nuggets. And he was amazing. He's
amazing, isn't he?
Yes.
I love that guy. Randy, awesome we love you. So I have some notes just to share who you are and Fraser Roofing. So we're going to share some stats to get your attention so you know the kind of person we're talking to today. So Fraser has done 10,852 roof projects since 2019. And when they started tracking, they're over 120 million in revenue total. 36 million was your biggest year. You do around 2,500 projects per year, re-roofs, repairs, and gutters. And you are number 7 on the top 100 in residential only, number 5 in residential roofing non-private equity. It's a really good stat. I'm glad you put this together. And you look like you're number 1 in the South because you had a question mark there. Perhaps you are. Maybe somebody else will give you that title. I know you're a humble guy. 3,352 5-star reviews, and they're financing 5.5% of their jobs. Does that sound about right?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Amazing. I've seen your name over the years on Facebook, and I'm so glad to spend some time with you.
Oh, likewise.
So I want to get to this. I want to actually touch on these things because I feel like if someone's a faith guy, I'm going to dive in and take a lot of time on that because I enjoy that, especially in the world we're in today. Hey, what's up, guys? I hope you are loving this episode. Hey, if you're a contractor looking to scale and grow your business through sales leadership training and sales coaching and training for your team, then look no further. All you got to do is text us at 945-800-4220. 945-800-4220, okay? Or just go to our website, sellonstg.com. Again, if you're a contractor and you want to grow your sales leadership training skills, your sales coaching skills, and you want to grow and help your sales reps get better, we can help commercial companies. We help residential companies, no matter what trade you're in. You just want to transform your business, okay? Come to STG. We hope to see you there. Hey, now back to the episode. Being in the business world, roofing world, I want to make space for that. But let's kind of go back to the Fraser Roofing story. And how'd you start this? Give us an idea of some of the origin story of Fraser, Dominick.
Sure. I got into the roofing game in 2005 when I owned an Irish pub actually pretty close to here.
Okay.
McDuff's Irish Pub. This is before Jesus.
Okay.
And I was praying to God, man, just get me out of here because I was closing the bar down at 4 a.m.
Wow.
I was major league alcoholic, multiple DUIs, just a menace to society.
Wow.
So I was just praying. I was like, get me out of here. And
like a desperate prayer,
just like a desperate prayer because I really did feel like I was on like the edge.
Wow.
And out of nowhere, I got a phone call. I'm like, hey, I need you to come down. Hurricane Katrina just hit New Orleans in 2005. And he's like, do you speak Spanish? And I was like, más o menos, yo puedo hablar, un poquito. Because I grew up in Miami, South Florida.
Did you?
I did.
Did you know I'm a South Florida
guy? I saw that. Melbourne,
and then I lived in Pompano for like 9 years.
Okay.
So I wasn't down in Miami, but I wasn't super far. It's cool. Okay, so so if you lived in Miami, you got to know a little Spanish.
No, a little Spanish. My dad grew up in Cuba.
Wow.
So
okay.
I always heard him speaking Spanish.
Like he's Cuban.
No, he's an Scotch, Irish, German, but
okay.
Born in Jacksonville. But his dad was in the cruise industry, the cruise lines. In fact, my dad started a company called Royal Caribbean. And
like the Royal Caribbean?
Like the Royal Caribbean. Him and Uncle Frank and Ed Steffen are Norwegians. Like, I really like that name. Can I take that name? And my dad, Louis Fraser, was like, sure, I'll give you the name. And he gave it to him, but can I cater the ships, all the personnel, the food and the beverage and the housekeeping and the entertainment.
What?
So my dad was a crazy entrepreneur, and he handed Royal Caribbean over to Ed Steffen, Royal Caribbean. So crazy entrepreneur out of South Florida. And his dad, Frank Leslie Fraser, he's the pioneer of the cruise industry out of Miami. There's a monument of my granddad. Supposedly he was a billionaire. Interesting stories about him, but we can go off on some rabbit trails.
So you have some DNA in you of entrepreneurship. Sounds like.
I think so.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. So you were called by who to go to New Orleans?
Yeah. Forgive me. I will go rabbit trail on you.
Yeah, so I got you. I'll keep you locked in.
Yeah, please. So just a mutual friend. He's like, come on down. I need you to. He was working with FEMA, putting the blue tarps on.
Okay.
And he's like, I'll pay you X amount of dollars. I'm like, I'll be down there tomorrow. Because I was just like, I got to get out of here. So I sold.
You own that bar?
I owned it.
And you sold. Okay, you sold it.
And I sold it to two other gentlemen. So sold that, went down to East Moss Point, Mississippi. And basically I was the gopher for 40 Mexican guys. And I basically went and got their ice and I got their tarps and I got their nails. And we just started building tarps all the way, working our way towards New Orleans. And that's how I got a taste of the roofing game. And I fell in love with it.
What made you fall in love with it?
The first time I helped somebody, this lady, I remember the water level to her house was up to the ceiling. And I helped her get that first like check and help. And she was trying to give me her pets. I remember I was like, I can't take your pets, lady. I got to go to the next job. But she just gave me an embrace and a hug, and like a light went off in my head. I'm like, this is what I need to do.
Wow.
And I was old. I got into the roofing game at 35 years old.
Wow.
So,
How old are you now?
I'm 55.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So, what happened there? I mean, you started with Fraser Roofing. So what was the trajectory there?
So what happened, let's get back to Atlanta. I started working for an outfit, found them literally in the classifieds, Aspen Contracting.
Okay.
And I started working with those guys. And then
they're not based here. There's a location here, right?
They had a location here after a storm.
Yeah, because they're like Missouri or Colorado.
I think they're out there in the Midwest somewhere.
Yeah, okay.
But they opened up a branch out. So I started with them. And then I started bouncing around. I went to another guy, this guy, Juan Ramon, who's still buddies with me, Empire Construction. And finally, I was like, why am I working for these guys? I can just do this myself. So Fraser Roofing started in 2009, and the rest is history.
Wow. So talk about your trajectory 2009 on, and then I want to hear about like your business model, some of your best practices, how you got this going.
Sure. 2009, mom and pop operation. My wife was corporate America, Sarah Fraser.
Okay.
Georgia Tech girl, local.
Okay.
So she's the brains of the operation.
Sounds like a smart lady.
Very smart lady. Opposites attract. So, and found her on eharmony.com.
Did you?
I did.
How long ago did you guys meet and get married?
14 years ago, 2011 is when we got married.
So you were a roofing owner at that point.
I was a roofing owner, and here's the funny thing.
Wow.
Our first date, we went out, and she didn't tell me that her dad was a roofer. So
Stop.
Her dad was a commercial roofer for 40 years, generational, and her granddad was a generational roofing
in this area up north
Pennsylvania. Yeah, so he was a Carlisle flat roof Carlisle guy.
Yeah. Wow. Mm-hmm. So she's like, all right, this reminds me of somebody in my family a little bit. She had the connection, but she was like a brainiac. She's smart. She's Georgia Tech,
super smart,
corporate. Wow.
Yeah. So basically, we have two kids, boy and a girl, a 10-year-old boy, 13-year-old girl. But back then, she was working corporate America, and we were like two ships passing in the night.
Wow.
And she was flying to Toronto and San Francisco. And,
Sheesh.
And
what was she doing with corporate job?
She was with Home Depot and with Goodies, and she was a senior exec marketing. She's a badass. I mean, very, very traveling with all the boys. She was
What was her role there?
Marketing. I think it was marketing. Anyhow, sweet. I was begging her to please come help because we never even knew, and we were probably $2 or $3 million operation, mom and pop, just trying to figure it out. And I'm like, I need help. Please come home. Please help. And so she came home, and guess what? we started getting structure and processes and procedures. Because before I was just a big whiteboard guy. I was showing Randy Hurtado. I had no CRMs. No, I was whiteboard, and I knew I was good with the crews, and it was just we were winging it. So she came in, and then we started actually making some money, and it was a slow and steady trajectory.
What was it like working with your wife at first? Was it easy? Was it hard? Was it smooth? Was it not smooth?
I think it was pretty smooth.
Yeah,
it was pretty smooth. The only frustrating part was it was just like we were like at the end of the year. We really didn't know if we were making any money because we were doing everything wrong. We were commingling. We were doing everything wrong. So I'll tell you the turning point is we met a girl named Connie Blannett. And actually, she worked with your previous guest, Raymond, with Perimeter. And her and my wife became friends. And when she came over along with my wife, that's when we just took off.
Wow. Wow. So talk about the way that talk about the revenue. Give me a little timeline.
So I want to say, I don't know the exact years. That's why I get those stats for you before I got here.
Yeah.
But we were about 3 million, and then we hired a coach. His name was Nathan Thibodeau. Are you familiar? Yeah, Nathan. Contractor.
Shout out to Nathan.
Yeah, shout out to Nathan. And he introduced something called because we got up to about 5 to 7. With Connie, and then we were like, oh crap, we don't know what we're doing here. We started to get some momentum. So we knew we needed coaching. So we reached out to the Nathan Thibodeau and Jim Johnson at Contractor Coach Pro.
Yep.
And Nathan introduced us to something called the hero sales culture.
Okay.
And what the heck is this hero sales culture? So I really do believe that's when we just jumped.
So talk about that. What is it?
The hero sales culture is basically there's 3 types of guys in your organization. There's the prima donna, the guys that drive around in big trucks and chest and testosterone. And, it's all about the sales guys. Sell, 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 sell. Those are the prima donnas. It's all about me. Forget you production. Forget you guys. I'm important. Mm-hmm. Then there's the monkeys. Monkeys are you basically just give them the job to do and they just do it. And then there is there's another one. Anyways, there's 3 different levels. And then there's the heroes. That's the main thing, the heroes. The heroes will fill the gap anywhere along the way. And they'll help out production. They'll help out the sales guys. If a customer's calling in and screaming, they'll go and they'll take the brunt of it. So basically when we brought Nathan in, we're like, so how do we do this? He's like, you got to change your culture. You got a lot of prima donnas on your team, which we did. High producers, but a lot of drama. So long story short, he's like, if you implement this, you're going to lose those top producers when you implement the hero sales culture. And we're like, I don't know if I want to do that, but we did. And it was a big reveal, and we shared everything, and we did lose those top producers, but it created this standard. Mm-hmm. And then from there, we went from 7, and then within 1 year, we went from 7 to 15. Mm-hmm. And then 15 to 20 and 25, and then we went all the way up to 36. Mm-hmm. So, we're just steadily, and we're residential. We don't mess around with commercial. So, wow. It's been a slow and steady climb. And we haven't meant to really do this. It's just kind of been organic. And we keep on opening up territories and meeting new guys because I'm a people person and I shake hands and kiss babies. And that's it's been an interesting ride.
Wow. That's really cool. And I saw Nathan put that out and I heard some people rave about it and then I never watched it. So my bad, Nathan. Yeah. I should have watched your video, but I love that. Amazing. So what's your model and like how much is this retail versus insurance? Do you knock? How do you generate leads? What's that?
So we used to be all insurance, all in storm chasing insurance. I'm proud to say now we're 65% insurance, and now we're really focusing on retail. Okay. Because we see what the insurance carriers are doing, and they're moving the goalposts, and it's getting more and more difficult with the insurance carriers. So we're like, okay, we got to get retail, so we don't have to worry about those guys all the time. Okay. So 65-35 right now. We're aiming for 50-50 in the next couple of years. We're pushing towards that. Yeah. And what was the follow-up question to that?
So how are you getting leads? And and did you knock before? It sounds like you are or not knocking or still knocking?
We are pounding doors severely. Like, yeah, we're heavy door
every day
knockers.
still today.
Even when I started, I had a rule. It's a 30 had to do minimum 30 doors a day, minimum 3 roofs a day that I had to get up on. And that's what I passed on to the guys. And, we have Spotio.
Okay. Yeah. Very
So
familiar.
all of our territory managers, we have 6 different territories, and they monitor their guys. Hopefully they're out there with their guys blitzing, just like I used to do, and just kind of teach the guys how to fish.
Lead from the front.
And that's really, really how we get the majority of our leads is door knock. And of course the reviews. My dad was in hospitality in the food and beverage business. So I realized your name is everything. Your name is everything. I call it the home court advantage. So if you look in Atlanta, I believe cumulatively we are the number 1 with 5-star reviews. So I was kind of a psychopath with every single job that I inspected. I was going to get a 5-star review. And I really didn't even care so much about like, okay, if I closed a job or not, I wanted to get that 5-star review because I knew if we built it up, it would push us up in the, the Google rankings.
Yeah.
And then just a word of mouth, So that's really what we pushed and we continue to push is the 5-star reviews. And my goal before I retire is I want to get 10,000 5-star reviews.
That's a great goal.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing any paid digital strategies, or is it all organic and door knocking?
Yes. So our SEO, it used to be with Scorpion.
Okay.
And then we switched over to, I met this guy, Jeff Boab.
Oh, you're with Rhino?
Yeah, Rhino.
Shout out to Rhino.
Yeah.
Those are my boys.
Very cool guys.
Oh, that's great. So you're working with them?
Working with them. Because I met Jeff Boab at a Revolt retreat.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember those.
And he was just
4 years ago, probably.
Yeah, he and I were like the old guys of the group, and they're doing like all these,
Jeff, you're old, bro. You're old.
Well, I was the oldest guy in the group. So
Jeff knows how old he is.
Yeah, man. So like they were doing all these burpees and stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, this sucks. I'm out of here. But no, that's awesome. Where we met Jeff, and
that's great.
And he never went away. He just kept on encouraging me and just encouraging me. So when the opportunity came, it's a good lesson. Don't burn your bridges. I was like, Jeff,
how long have you guys been with Rhino now?
This is our 2nd year.
Okay, great. Mm-hmm. That's great news.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very, very familiar with them, and they're buddies of ours.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you're starting to use paid methods with them, like run ads.
Yes.
Do you guys have like a call center or inside sales team?
No call center, no inside sales.
So how does that work when leads come in?
So we have a front desk girl that she gets all the leads. Alyssa is her name. And we have a speed kills mentality. Yep. Like you got to get within 5 minutes or that lead is pretty much.
Does she ever get overwhelmed with leads?
Sometimes, yes. So when she gets overwhelmed, especially after a storm like Hurricane Helene that just came through.
Yeah.
My wife will get in there. Connie will get in there. It's the hero sales culture. Everybody like, oh, that's a need. They'll go there and they'll share the responsibility.
Okay.
And again, the goal, it's kind of like the general patent quote, I would rather do something good now than like 2 weeks from now. And I'm butchering the phrase, but speed kills. And I was just sharing with my team before I'm sitting here with you about if you don't hit it within 5 minutes, that lead is toast. Yeah, it's a microwave generation.
Do you guys have the front desk lady? What's her name? Alyssa. Does she set it for them, or does she give the lead to a sales rep if they're available, and then they set it for themselves?
It's so funny that you're asking me that because our coaching just said you need to set it. Don't just give it to the sales guy. Because right now, currently, I don't think we're doing it right. I think
you've been handing it to the sales guy.
We've been handing it to the sales guy, and the sales guy will get on it like, yeah, I'll schedule it for next Thursday.
Yeah.
That lead's dead. So we are just shifting as of like this week.
I think you need a call center. Not going to lie.
Well, please teach me.
You should beefing up your that process a little bit because they can then be gamified on how they're scoring, gamified on how they're performing on setting appointments. They could send to, I like this culture, not a round robin, but a batting average, like a batting average culture.
Okay.
So it's like who actually is the best in that type of home or in that area, in that specific, which territory. And then you can centralize operations there. And then with your 6 or 7 locations. So call centers can do inbound and then they can do some rehashing and resetting as well. I think that you're probably looking at, especially as you guys increase your digital presence, you're going to need speed to lead. You're going to need to have really good quality control, and you need to make sure that they're set. And something we like to teach at STG is send a pre-call video about the brand so that like informs them, answers a lot of questions. And then we also like to teach the sales rep. Then we'll be like, hey, so Mr. and Mr. So-and-so, this is Ryan with Fraser Roofing. Hey, I know we're having an appointment for tomorrow afternoon, but I'd love to ask you a couple of quick questions. You have a few minutes? Yes. And then you can kind of dig a little bit and get a little bit of that open-ended questions, builds more trust. They're like, I'm talking to a human being who can give me a price and who can solve my problem. And so then you can also say, hey, just something that would really help. Will both homeowner parties be present? Yes. Make sure they're both there. And then that's going to increase their closing ratio and shorten the sales process.
Please teach me.
Yeah.
Please.
Sweet. Anyway, we can talk another time and we can help you maybe potentially work together. So, all right. So that's amazing. So give me a kind of a rundown of your technology tools. What softwares are you guys using? You shared the vendor of Rhino. You share Contractor Coach Pro. Talk about like software platforms.
AccuLynx.
And Spadio, you said. Spadio, AccuLynx.
Yeah. AccuLynx. So Connie brought that over. So AccuLynx. Again, it was the old school. It was me. The whiteboard. It was crazy. And so we brought in AccuLynx.
So you've had AccuLynx
since 7 years ago, 8 years ago, something like that. Yeah.
Any other platforms you guys on? Any other tools?
This is when I need the girls because they're like the brains of the operation. And I'm like, my role at Fraser Roofing is I'm like the team dad.
That's cool.
It's like a really cool place to be. I break bread with the guys with all the territories. We have a lot of like functions as far as like guys get away, hunting trips, fishing trips.
That's cool.
I'm kind of like coasting into my 55 and like my dream is mentoring guys.
That's awesome.
Like disciples make disciples. That's what my pastor always like taught us is disciples make disciples. Go make disciples.
All right, let's talk about that now.
Well, yeah. So, but if you're talking about all that, I wish I had Connie and Sarah by my side.
Maybe another time.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the real stuff.
Yeah.
So you love Jesus. Thank you for bringing me a little baby Jesus, a mini Jesus. This is awesome. He loves me.
I got one technology thing before we jump into this. Liftify. Liftify.com. You want to know why we're the number one in 5-star reviews? Liftify.com. There's your golden nugget for your viewers.
What do you got? What does it do?
Jeff Boab introduced me to him.
All right.
Dude, it's the best tool we've ever had as far as generating tons and tons of 5-star reviews.
Wow.
So
how?
So basically, I'll give you one example. You go to the customer, you can send them the link. It goes straight to their text or whatever it may be.
Okay.
What I love about it is a lot of folks aren't on Google, like especially when you're out in the rural areas. Like we do a lot of South Georgia, a lot of these folks don't have Google. So it'll give them the opportunity if they want to leave a 5-star review, it'll divert them from, if they can't get on the Google because they don't want to create a Google page, it'll divert them to either Facebook or the Better Business Bureau. So you just get generating, and then it'll do follow-ups with your customers. I'm not that technical or savvy.
So it'll be like if Google's first option, if it's not, it'll like kind of show a second, a third option, whatever that they have an account for, they can create for. You'll get that review on that platform. Yes,
and it's silky smooth. Ever since Jeff Boab introduced us to that, my guys are just pumping out the 5-star reviews. So that's another tool that you guys. So
thank you.
Yes, sir.
First I've ever heard of it.
Yep.
I love that. All right. So today is June 10th, 2025, and you've given me a gratitude journal, and you have some scriptures in here. Make it your goal to live or to lead a quiet life, minding your own business and working with your hands. 1 Thessalonians 4:11. Okay. Unpack this for us, because the people listening to this are contractors. I am a coach who is trying to not be so quiet because I'm sharing the world around, and it's like a tension point for me because who's going to know me? And I don't work in a local area. I live in Hawaii now. I don't get customers there. I'm from Florida and I live in Hawaii. So when I'm here, my clients are people like you. You guys are contractors. So if you don't see me on the internet, how are you going to freaking know who I am? You're not. So my question is, what does this mean to you and my audience, specifically being contractors? And I'd like to hear the nuggets. How's the Lord, what has he taught you through this?
So when I got baptized in 2010, I always thought Christians were kind of like nerds. I didn't really want to hang out with Christians. So I started, I don't know how I stumbled across it, but Duck Dynasty.
Yeah.
Phil Robertson.
Yeah.
That's his like go-to verse.
Yeah.
Phil Robertson's
Rest in
verse
peace,
right there.
Phil.
Rest in peace.
Yep.
So that was his go-to verse. Like he simplified his life. Make it your ambition to live a quiet life. The dude still, like, him and his wife lived in the original house, even though he was making, bank.
Yeah.
Kept it simple. Wore his camo shirts. Wasn't like all about the hype, which you see so much in our industry.
So much.
Kept it simple. And he was at peace. And he hunted and he fished and he ate good food and he shared the gospel and he baptized, like, I don't know how many thousands of people. I want to be like that dude.
Come on.
And we just had a guy's getaway, and one of the guys I was not expecting to want to get baptized, like, Dominick, will you baptize me? I'm like, let's go.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
that is my go-to verse right there. It's just make it your ambition to live a quiet life, to mind your own business. Because, man, if I start doom scrolling and seeing all the drama, it kind of drags me down. So I try to avoid that and work with your hands, and roofing, you're out there and you're helping the guys and pulling people out of the mud. And it's just, that's, I'm copying Phil's verse. I'm taking that from.
Wow. So good. Okay. I know what this scripture is. It's the prayer of Jabez.
Yeah,
do you know that?
Oh,
Did you know there's a book on this?
100%.
Okay. This is probably where it's coming from, right?
Yes.
Maybe. All right. So First Chronicles 4:10. I almost said First Chronicles, like Corinthians. First Chronicles 4:10.
Yep.
Oh, that you would bless me and expand my territory. Please be with me in all that I do and keep me from all trouble and pain. And God granted him his request.
Amen.
Talked about this one.
Sarah and I have been praying that prayer from the very first day,
Wow.
very first day. And like we had nobody, and I, just to be clear, this is not a prosperity prayer. Okay. Because a lot of people are like, oh, you think you could just pray to God and he's going to just give you riches? Well, that depends on what kind of riches we're talking about. Is it wisdom? Is it health? Is it wealth?
Yeah.
So that one right there, we've been praying, and I just tell folks, pray that prayer. Like, you cannot outgive God, man. Like, pray that prayer and see what happens. Step out in a little bit of faith, a little mustard seed faith. Pray that prayer, see what happens. See what happens to your life. I double dog dare you, because we've been praying it in a very short time. God has just overflowed us. And
Wow. Come on.
Man, it's just a go-to, and it's been up on our walls. It's been up on our whiteboards. We're very bold and unashamed about,
Let's go.
who we are and whose we are.
Let's go, man.
And
you're awesome, dude.
I'm telling you, brother, I double dog dare any and all your viewers to just pray that prayer with a little bit of mustard seed faith.
All right, guys. So we're going to pray right now.
Yeah.
All right. Lord, we just come before you and we're just going to pray this prayer of Jabez. And it says in verse 9 of 1 Chronicles 4, Jabez was more honorable than his brothers, and his mother called his name Jabez, saying, because I bore him in pain. Jabez called upon the God of Israel, saying, oh, that you would bless me and enlarge my border, and that your hand might be with me, and that you would keep me from harm, so that it might not bring me pain. And God granted what he asked. So, Lord, we just pray that our friends listening to this would pray that prayer, 1 Chronicles 4:10, and you would just help transform this industry from the inside out, from one prayer at a time, one owner at a time, one marriage at a time, one family at a time, one salesperson at a time, one office person at a time, and that people would know you and that you would be glorified in this industry and be no longer an industry of babbles and building up and towers for themselves, but instead to serve and lead a quiet life. Thank you, Lord, for Dominick Fraser and the example that he is and he's able to share on this podcast, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Woo, bro, you took me on a whole different path here. All right. So Proverbs 16:3, commit your actions to the Lord and your plans will succeed.
Yep.
Let's talk about that one.
Had that on magnets, like when we first started, and when we were talking to customers, we would put it up on their refrigerators, and that was just a go-to verse. I'm kind of a simple guy, a simple life.
Are you simple by design? Like you're trying to make it simple, or are you like? Because I admire it. Like you're not complicated, but are you one of those guys that like is made it like you've made yourself simple on purpose to try to because complicated? You've seen where it goes, or are you just always like this? Like, how are you so simple? Because this is very simple, but it's also very it's uncommon, I guess is my point.
Yeah. That's an interesting question. I think it's just I've always been kind of like a caveman, like, it's just, all right, don't go this way, go this way, and keep it simple, stupid. My dad was military. Keep it simple, stupid. So that was just kind of like, okay, this works. I've already lived in the world. That does not work. I think we were just talking at the beginning of this, like chasing the wind. It's just like I heard you guys talking about some things. But yeah, I got tired of chasing the wind.
I mean, you kind of I feel this like father spirit you got, because you came in at 35. Like you're not young when you start. No. And you've been doing this for 20 years. And now you're coming in, you see all these younger bucks doing their thing. And what would you advise the younger generation? I know you've shared a lot of this, but like kind of if I were to say, hey, I got the fire in my eyes, I'm freaking crushing it, I'm going to take over the world. Like, what would you say to me if I'm a younger roofer, a contractor, and aspiring to have success? What would you start to give me caution and encouragement to if you were to disciple someone virtually for a few minutes, what would you start to speak to them and say, if you could tell they have that ambition, that drive, they're having some success, if you want to keep them from falling off a ditch and then wasting some time, what would you say as like a team dad type of guy?
Golly, I can go so many ways with this. Well, I'll tell you right off the bat, money's not going to make you happy. I've seen so many guys. I mean, my dad was an example, multi-millionaire. My granddad was those guys, they were miserable guys, alcoholics, and they lived in the world until my dad found Jesus later in life. Wow. So I've seen very, very wealthy people, and they're some of the most miserable folks on the planet. So my advice to a young buck coming up and they're starting to hit their stride is just be present, man. Be present. Stop chasing. Stop chasing that. Because once you get it, let's just say your goal is to make $250,000. Okay. I've seen it so many times where they get 250 and they're not satisfied. They're like, oh, now I got to make 500,000. All right, now I got to make 750. And it's never going to quench your thirst. So my advice is get grounded in your faith.
How does one start that process?
Well, I'll tell you exactly how. Get yourself a Bible, which every one of our guys getaways, I get them in a Bible. And we got guys on our team that are non-believers, but I'm like, get a Bible. And then I would say start in John. I would say start in John. And then for those really cynical guys and the guys that just are really skeptics and they're like, this whole God stuff is not real. I would ask you to get on your knees and say, God, if you're real, make yourself real to me. I double dog dare you to do that. See what happens. So get grounded in your faith, and then everything else is like gravy. But if you're not grounded in your faith, I promise you, chasing the wind, which means chasing the world, women, I did that. Booze, I did that. Wealth, it's never going to satisfy you. So that would be my.
When you say grounded in your faith, what does that mean?
Grounded in your faith, it means, gosh, that's a good question.
If you think about it, it's actually it's more complicated than it sounds. Like it's like what it means is not like saying, oh, I know God. Oh, I believe in Jesus. I know I'm going to heaven. Yeah, I go to church on Sunday. I go to Christmas and Easter church. Yeah, it's not that. It's like your emotional state, where your peace comes from. Yes, where the way you live is not dependent upon things outside of your faith. Yeah. Right. That's kind of more where we're going.
I think identity is what is like knowing who you are and whose you are. Yeah. Like identity, until I knew my identity in Christ Jesus, I was always trying to please everybody. I was a big people pleaser. So once you know your identity, that you are a child of God, if God is for me, then who's going to be against me? I'm just like, bring it on. And I've had so many people come at me, and I'm just like, okay, bring it, because I got Jesus. What are you going to do?
They've come at you in what ways?
Oh, in just so many ways. Because our motto is, I'll just use one example. And I'm not even getting into my whole dramatic family. But business, we'll talk business. Our motto is faith, family, Fraser Roofing. And we are bold and courageous about Jesus Christ. And I've seen guys kind of snark at us and like, they're just using that cross to try to get into people's pockets because, we're in the South, we're in the Bible Belt, and what a ploy. And I'm like, come to our Bible studies. Come and see like who we are face to face instead of, being brave behind a keyboard or a cell phone. We've heard a lot of chirping, and like, here we are, like, come see us. We have like Bible studies at our office every Saturday.
Come through, dog.
Yeah. Come on. So I don't know. That's a great question. Like, what does it mean to be grounded? Yeah. Cause I'm like, okay, what does that mean? But just having a relationship with Jesus, not just going through the motions like, hey, I checked that box. I went to church and all right, I did that Bible study. Not checking the box, but actually asking Jesus, hey man, draw close to me. I want to abide with you. I want to be, your good and your faithful servant.
It's really refreshing to talk to you about this type of thing and how you lead your life as a business owner in roofing. I'm super encouraged by you. It's nice to visit with you.
No, likewise.
I'd love to hear more about, I don't want to get into drama too much here, but you say you doom scroll, you can get a little overwhelmed and discouraged what you're seeing. Talk to me a little bit about what you're seeing, and you don't have to name names or anything, but what are you seeing that you're like, oh, that discourages you? And then what's encouraging you with respect to like the roofing industry?
I'll start with the encouraging things.
Okay.
Because there's, the encouraging things is like, I see some things like the Contractor. I don't know if you know Contractor Fellowship with Jim Johnson and some of these guys. Yeah. Like I've been a part of that for the last 4 years. And I'm seeing guys starting to come to this Wednesday Bible study. And I've seen, like, I went to a leadership retreat recently called Unleash Your Leadership. And this guy, Chris Shiver, he was a Dallas Cowboy guy. He's like, Dom, will you speak to the men? I'm like, and I went up there and I shared my testimony.
Come on.
But I just met these two guys, these two black guys, Jay and Sean with Ascent Roofing in North Atlanta. And now they're part of the Bible study. Oh, cool. And it's basically, our whole goal, or my goal is go make disciples. Disciples make disciples. So, I mean, they were already followers, but just networking within the roofing industry and going to Bibles and encouraging each other and praying for each other. That's the uplifting stuff. The Randy Hurtados of the world. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Like watching the podcast with you and him, I'm like, I just want to hang out with these guys. Come on. Because you guys are studs. And like, he's out on a ranch and out in Texas. And like, you guys are dudes. I'm like, I want to be more like you guys. So just seeing you guys together and just seeing men being like, it's cool. Like real men love Jesus. Yeah. So when I get on to the negative, it's just like, everyone's talking about the money and, cashing out and exiting and that whole thing. And I just kind of, there's nothing wrong with money. I mean, Jesus preached on money more than anything, but, it says the love of money is that's what people don't catch. It's the love of money is the root of all evil. So when I just see all that, and, everyone flexing about, exiting and cashing out and they're worth this million and that million and blah, blah, I just look at that and I go, man, these guys are missing it. That's just my 2 cents, my very cave. That's my caveman perspective.
So does the caveman mean to say that, does he never want to exit? Mm-hmm. Or is that like a position you're in, or is it just how they're going about the exit experience that these guys have had that is concerning?
As long as I'm at the helm, I never want to exit. We're a kingdom business, which means we got this saying from the Hobby Lobby CEO.
Wow, yeah.
And it says, and he says, and it's in our bullpen where all of our guys train. It says, if you think you own what you have huge problems. Whoa. And that's from that guy, and it's up on our wall, and I'm paraphrasing. But I have the same mentality. It's like we're a kingdom business, and we have been given so much and blessed so much. And, we have to be good stewards. And when I see folks are just all about the money and cashing out, and that's like their flex, it's like, we're going to exit, we're going to make 15x and yada, yada, yada. I'm like, and then what? I mean, how much is enough?
So you're starting this transition of being able to father, mentor, coach without being at the front like you may have in the beginning, because you have enough leadership that does that well and mentors that in that way well.
Got great leaders.
That's kind of the stage you're in. So you can have it all. You can have full control or God's control of the business where you're stewarding it. You have lifestyle, you have impact, you have generosity. That's kind of what I'm picking up.
Yes, sir. You're dead on. Sometimes I'm bored with the business as far as the actual day-to-day. Connie's got it. She's in charge of, she's a director. Connie Blandon, I got to give her a shout out. She's the director of operations. So she runs all of the billing, which we have our own in-house billing. One of them is my cousin, Peggy Fraser. God bless her. She's a Florida Gator, but she's amazing. 24-year State Farm adjuster, but we got her, and Jeff Knutson, a 19-year Chubb adjuster. So we got some sharp people on our team that are doing a great job. But Connie's in charge of the billing and the admin and the production. So she's amazing. And then I got Scott Eady. Scott Eady is our director of sales.
Okay.
And he takes care of all of our territory managers, which we have 6 different territory managers.
And then they manage salespeople under them.
And they manage the salespeople underneath them.
Okay.
And the cool thing is about being team dad, or culture dad is what they call me, is I just got to go straight to Scott. I don't even have to mess with Connie, because that's Sarah, my wife, Sarah. She operates with Connie in that direction. And I'm the sales guy. So, and I go through Scott, and Scott's just got everything humming right now.
Wow.
But I think we need that call center that you were talking about earlier. But
yeah,
yep.
Can work on that. Yeah. Wow. Amazing. So Dominick, how can people follow you, get to know you more, and get to know Fraser Roofing more? How can people do that?
Fraser Roofing, LLC.com, and our number is 770-800-ROOF. If you want to reach out to me personal, I'm very accessible. My cell phone is 404-441-1515. And if you don't know who Jesus is, give me a call. I'd love to introduce you to him.
That's beautiful.
Sure.
So yeah, guys, this is what an episode. Dominick Fraser, please like, subscribe, share. If you feel like somebody needs to hear this, make sure you send it their way. It's a super refreshing interview to connect with Dominick. And yeah, follow me if you guys have not yet on Facebook. Just look up Ryan Groth, hit the follow button. Instagram, same on LinkedIn. Pretty easy to follow and find. And then, yeah, this is our YouTube channel if you guys are hearing this on that. And then we also have Spotify and Apple for the Growth Minded Contractor podcast and the Sales Athlete podcast, which I got to get some of your top sales studs on my podcast for that.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy kind of hearing from their vantage point for our sales rep audience. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. Bless you. Peace.